It's a look. Is it a good look? Probably not. Today I was doing a live stream on Patreon and I was doing all these art challenges, making really fast-paced work, and I started thinking about what I wanted to do for my video this week, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I could just make whatever the heck I want, just really be loose and enjoy myself, be completely free. I've been so out of the loop with painting and art making for so long, and I'm really trying to get myself oriented again and just get the spark back. Love it. So what better way to do all my experimenting and really dive back in than to paint for 24 hours. Now currently it's about 9 p.m. I slept for like 2 hours to take a little nap in the day. I haven't done a 24-hour poll maybe ever, so we're gonna see how this goes. Thought processes, how things evolve, what things I learn. Hope you guys enjoy. Stick around. See you after the next 24 hours. Welcome to the voiceover. Today, the way this video is going to be structured will be a compilation of different videos of time-lapse paintings I did throughout the 24 hours, along with different vlog footage giving you updates about what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling. First of all, I wanted to start off this whole process doing some paintings over photographs. I used both personal reference photos as well as some printed references from other artists that I admire that I wanted to learn from. This is an exercise I had my Patreon members do this month. It's a great way to loosen up, think about color matching and mixing, and to just try new things and think about things in different ways than you normally would. Here's our first vlog. Hey dudes, we're about 2 hours in. I've been painting over photographs so far, getting myself loosened up because, you know, I want to be not so tight. Really enjoying myself so far. After I paint over them with acrylic, I've been spraying them with acrylic gloss sealing spray. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll show you the images I've done so far, and here's my dudes. I did a couple more of these painting over photos. This is a reference photo from Long Island, where I grew up. The thing that is so great about painting over photos, for me, I work really tightly normally, but having a super tight base that I'm working on top of, I just feel this added sense of freedom where I have a very direct reference behind me, and it gives me a strong launching point so I can just get in this flow of things where I'm not thinking so hardcore about every single brush and motion. Also, it really helps you recontextualizing the colors, getting aware of how colors look when they're next to another color and how you can have mixed and wrong perceptions of what colors look like. It also gives you a great way of thinking about details in less specific, honed in, focused ways so that you can get a better contextual overall image. During this little mix between these vlogging breaks, I decided to switch over onto our regular painting. Alright, it is 1:30, almost just about 1:30, and I decided to be done with painting photographs, at least for now. I felt like it got me loosened up and thinking about color good, and my cheeks look really rosy. So I'm gonna go on to doing some landscape painting and try to keep some of that looseness going. I have this painting that I'm working on right now. I don't think I can flip my camera around, so I'll just put it next to my face. I have my first coffee of the evening. I still feel pretty energetic and ready to make more stuff. Okay, bye. At this point, I was feeling really loose and I wanted to try painting some of my subject matter that I haven't worked on in a long time. So I busted out some waves, and this one okay, but honestly it wasn't my favorite painting of the night. I did have fun. Me and waves have a lot to figure out right now. I feel like I have had such an important relationship with water and with painting water, and I don't think it's over, but I think it's evolving. Four in the morning. Do you know where your children are? Welcome to the start of a painting that really just was a journey for me. You'll see me do this in multiple stages throughout the night working on this, and eventually what it evolves into is a little different than what I anticipated originally. Oh man, 5:30 was the roughest point for me of this whole experience. I could not function. That bath was really important. But amazingly, I came back from that bath and busted out this painting, which was definitely one of my favorites from the whole 24 hours. I felt super loose. I started to try to implement some shapes and ideas that I do in my sketch work that I haven't really implemented in my painting as much. Those kind of orb-like tree shapes. This was just a really nice surreal attempt at a landscape with the sunlight of a deep sunset or golden hour hitting the tops of the mountains, but then throwing in this weird angle of having a nighttime sky. The lighting is just kind of all over the place, but ultimately I felt like it had just a really nice magical feel to it. I think this painting is going to help to inspire some different ideas in the future. Not sure exactly where it's going to go yet, but we'll see. After that, I decided to do something in a sort of similar vein, going for some more dramatic or interesting surreal colors. I really like what starting this whole process by doing paintings over photos did to my overall paint quality. The way I was able to have more impressionistic brush strokes and very loose ways that my colors were mixing and meeting each other instead of having these really strong gradients, very smooth transitions that I'm used to. Overall, it was a really great change and evolution, and I'm happy to implement it in the future. Guys, it's daytime! It's daytime! As the sun was coming up, the song Mr. Blue Sky came on. And I've been listening to it on repeat, and I got that like re-energization. Honestly, it really helped taking a bath, the having daylight. I think I could do it. I think I'm gonna make it. Yeah, not quite halfway done, but I'm so excited. Oh gosh, round 2 on this guy. And this is not even the last time you will see it. I went through many evolutions, and honestly, somewhere around here is where I think it was at its best stage. But as you know, sometimes with paintings, they get better, and then they get worse. I kind of just took a long break. I've taken a few breaks. It's really hard to do this. I feel pretty awake. Thank goodness. So, time to bust a move. Well, it's morning at this point. I decide I want to go back in for the waves again. I had a bit of a struggle with this wave painting, but honestly, parts of it I really do like. And there are things that I just enjoy about the process of painting waves, the overall aesthetic that are just so beautiful to me, and I don't know if I'm ever going to want to totally step away from. It's nice just having this whole 24-hour span where I can just try so many different things out and really just take an adventure through all of my interests. I really recommend that experience to people, and I think it's something I need to do again. The more art you make, the more you can just learn about yourself and really hone in and develop your style and personal interests. The sun coming up really helped my energy, and chugging away on some more paintings. I'm glad I have energy again, because 5:30 this morning I felt like I was going to go insane. Here's the wave that I'm working on. This thing that it's the bane of my existence. I can't get it right. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But, yep, that's where I'm at right now. Guys, sometimes you just work and overwork a painting, and eventually you just gotta have fun and give up a little bit. Can we talk about the fact that I've been painting for like, I don't even know how many hours and hadn't slept? So, when I throw a nice little stick figure artwork at you, I hope you'll understand. For this next painting, I decided to loosen up kind of even more. I spent the least amount of time on this painting of probably everything, well, except for the painting over photographs, because that goes really fast. I was listening to Ready Player One while this was going. I was in a nice groove with that. Honestly, that book is amazing, and now every time I look at this painting, I think about that book. Haven't finished it, but really recommend it, because geez, it's freaking cool. I wanted to do this because I have some Instagram artists I follow, and I love the way they make reflections, and I did not master that reflection, but I did have a fun time going fast and not overthinking that work. Speaking of Instagram, this piece was inspired by an Instagram artist as well. I was going through my reference photos and found this, and immediately it stuck out to me because it reminds me of the work she's been doing recently. She does these kind of out of focus paintings of waves with these beautiful shimmering lights on them. I'm gonna make sure I put her Instagram handle up on the screen for you guys. Check her out, she's great. There's a few different water artists that I follow on Instagram that just absolutely blow my mind, and she's one of them right now. I have a little over 4 hours left. Got another coffee. Here's the painting that I'm working on now. Everything I'm doing is in acrylics. Developing quite a span of artwork. I can't wait to just here's the work setup also. Cleaned up the apartment a little bit because it was getting crazy and I needed a break. And sometimes I just have to like decompress. So much art. I know I'm staring at myself and not the camera. Apologize. Haven't slept in a very long time. The night is moving on. I am so tired at this point. I'm gonna say this is probably my maybe least favorite painting that I did throughout the evening. Obviously that's a personal aesthetic thing. I just wasn't sure how to finish this one off. I didn't know what I wanted the shapes of the clouds to be, but hey, I made it through it. My camera was like running out of batteries, so haven't been filming, but I'm just making experiments. I figured spend the last of my time just doing whatever the heck I want. So I've got masking tape over this thing that I kind of scratched out with a pencil, and just gonna make some texture, see how it goes. I am so exhausted at this point. I just wanted to have fun. I had this teacher in college who did a lot of work with masking and sanding, and honestly, I did not get close to how beautiful her work is, but I really wanted to try out the process, and it was a great thing. I've been talking about abstract art a little bit recently with people, and it's not something that I've spent any time giving consideration to or trying myself because I am such an obsessive realist. But gosh, it's good to just loosen up and think differently and think about process and texture, and it's something I should think more about. And I'm so glad I got to round out my 24 hours doing something that just was fun. It's over. I'm so tired. It's 9 o'clock again. Start at 9, end at 9. This was both such a wonderful and exhausting process. I think especially if you are like me, going through an experimental period, trying to find yourself, what it is that you want to make, what style you want. I really recommend dedicating a good period of time where you have complete freedom of expression to just find yourself, to challenge your ideas of what it is that you're making and where you want to go. I know for me, I am going to do this again, not a full 24 hours, healthier food, but this was a great free flow exercise, and I really recommend it to any of you who want to try it. Good luck. Oh, where's my stupid hat? Stop. Why are you beeping? Maybe I'll just do this with a beep in the background. I think that beeping's never gonna stop. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to, subscribe to this channel. I make new videos every Friday. I have a Patreon, an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook. All my social media links will be down below. If you guys want to buy any of the paintings that you saw in this video, head over to robinclance.com, also linked in my description. Go make art, have the best weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.